del país durante el curso del día y sobre la gran parte del país de Belice jueves por la noche. Compañeros, ese es el reporte del estado del tiempo. Muchas gracias a las personas que tuvieron algo que ver con ese reporte. Muchas gracias.
Also today, as today is the 30th, we'd like to remind one and all that Digicel will be doing their double up today. I know that Digicel
and Smart is going to be. I spoke to a Smart personnel last night, and I think Nigel told me that tomorrow or Friday we'll be having Smart double ups.
Yeah, pertaining to what you were discussing, Emmanuel, he said, Mr. Martinez, Mr. Usher, it's ugly to live in fear. I have been living like that for 15 years. Another complaint is the buses. They fly in this area, and we, the residents in the area, will get signature. So we send it to the proper authorities, and thank you all for your concern.
Well, thank you for taking time out to send us that message. It's encouraging that people are listening and responding. Y si quieres
and they are
participar, 302-2170, o si quieres mandar un mensaje por texto, 600-5769, hazlo, porque ya es tiempo que dejemos de ser conformistas.
And somebody is saying, he said, when someone dead, then they will book it. I guess they must try to see if they could fix it when somebody dead, ¿no? Yep.
Pero recuerdo, compañeros, desde el primer día que vine a vivir a Otrobenque, el siguiente día dije, el tráfico en Otrobenque Road es un accidente esperando suceder. Oh, chica.
Yep, and also, Emmanuel.
Ya 5 desde entonces.
Yeah, we know that people have to tighten up now if we live with the times, because we know that the taxes are coming, the razor taxes are coming into effect now. So them bills, the utility bills, we know. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. I just want to give a message to Mr. Chiki, please.
Yes, go. Aha. Is it pertaining to the show or it's a personal message?
No. It's pertaining to the show.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Carla.
Good morning, Mr. Chiki. Good morning, Mr. Martinez.
Good morning to you.
I know this is not about traffic, but it's about health. Here in Fonseca Street, we are living a hell in the drain because of the White House. That the Chinese have a restaurant and so forth. They throw the island comings all through the drain, stinks and everything. And the town council is well concerned about it, but they take money from the White House, and they are not paying attention to the health of us in that street. And it's very bad for everything to be turned in political and political. I think they should see about the health of us Orange Volcanoes here in our health. So please, or else please town council and everyone who are hearing, because we know they are hearing, to see about that, because we, the neighbors are concerned about it, or else we are going to take it and we are going to take it to Belmopan. We will not sit down bearing this nastiness and having it in the air, because we have children. So please make help know about this, that we are well and concerned, and town council, we are well and concerned that they go and take things from White House, so the Chinese man thinks that they can do whatsoever they want to do there. We are Belizeans, and they should see about our health.
All right, thank you very much,
Carla. Thank you very much. I guess right smack in the middle of that whole topic is the participation of the Public Health Department, who's exactly the ones who are responsible for this. And I think that we need for care one live 220, and shock them into work.
220?
Yes, not just 110, 220.
Yeah, so I was saying that people need to start to decide how they continue doing their spendings now, because the new tax has been implemented to bills, so like bill, water bill, the cable gone up, so everything is up. But about the road, remember that was the Petro Caribe road, and the Petro done long time, so we have to see how that one play out, how they can get it done. Let's hope that they will get it done.
This one.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, morning, Jackie Manuel.
Hi,
Morning, my
morning.
friend, morning. How you do?
Not too bad.
That's good to hear. Tell us.
Man, the same problem we got a parcel from your street, and I don't know my eyes about it. I may take this street like highway.
Fidju?
Then I put a bumper or something on the street, as long as when something happens, then they do it.
Yes.
But we let them drivers their names.
Have there been any accidents in that area?
Huh?
Have there been any accidents in that area?
Not as yet.
Well, thank God. Thank God, but let's not wait.
Because to me, look like the same way how the guy coming highway out there, the same thing they done the street.
Well, let's hope that the authorities don't have to wait until an accident happens for them to do something, because
I know.
it's
And everybody on the street has been saying the one thing over and over.
now Santa Familia is within the jurisdiction of the town council, and they should be able to do something about that immediately.
You really need attention now.
So get yourself some signatures from the people living in that area and present it to the mayor or to the person who is in charge of traffic. Make them do something about it. Put them on
Okay,
the
thanks.
Thank you.
And have a nice day.
You
Same to
too
you,
now.
and thanks for calling as well.
It's 13 minutes before 8 o'clock. We will go on a break and we will be right back with you. Vamos a esta pausa.
Think and see you tomorrow. Think and see you tomorrow.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not do it in your own country? Sun, fun, and relaxation are just a short distance away. Have a taste of barefoot living, or enjoy the sounds and taste of an authentic Garifuna village. Allow yourself to be swept away by Southern hospitality and living. Escape the hectic world and enjoy a beautiful sunset. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Residents of Dangriga now have their very own brand new modernized multi-purpose complex, compliments of the government of Belize. This $3.5 million investment in the cultural capital will host sporting events, cultural events, and shows, and can double as a hurricane shelter. Features include seating for 1,000, a fully FIBA certified wooden court, locker rooms with full bathrooms, a stage and changing rooms backstage, concession stands, office space, and ample parking. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The Government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Hi, I'm Judy Hua, and I'll let you know about my DigiNet experience. It was so easy. Literally, they just asked for a few things like my ID, they asked for my address, and they even asked me questions that how could they improve their service. I won't lie, I'm a social media holic. I would surely recommend it to my friends, especially when we're doing our FaceTime calls or WhatsApp calls. You know, our calls won't get dropped.
See you guys in a bit then.
For my professional side, well, I do television, so for me, we have to download a lot of files. We have to ensure that when we receive them, we check them before it goes on air, and DigiNet has made that experience easy for me. I have the 5 meg plan, which is wonderful because it's only $69. So I'm really glad that they did the promotion in my area in Kings Park. I was the first one to sign up.
Available in San Pedro, Northside Belize City, Ladyville, Belmopan, and now Orange Walk. Coming soon to Placencia.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Welcome back. Bienvenidos al Sugar City Morning Show. Compañeros, son las 8 menos 7 minutos. It's 7 minutes before 8 o'clock. I'd like to welcome at this moment, say good morning and welcome at this moment, 2 representatives from NEMO here in Orange Walk. Immediately to my left, the coordinator, should I say? District coordinator, Ms. Suleima Salis. And also, Tony, my good friend, Tony Leiva. Good morning to you and
good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning,
Ante todo,
Martinez.
how are you guys doing? Good?
We're doing okay.
You're doing okay.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be asking Suleima to talk, just give us a brief little introduction as to what NEMO does. NEMO being the National Emergency Management Organization. And yes, we'd like to think about NEMO as the one who comes knocking on doors after the hurricanes to see if we need anything. But the assistance from NEMO or the participation of NEMO is not only limited to hurricanes, but in any emergency. Am I right?
Yes, floods, fire, and tsunami,
earthquakes as well. So you have a response team that is ready and willing to go out and to help people in the case of any emergency.
Yes, NEMO comprises of 12 committees, which are public officers,
Mhm.
and Mr. Tony here is co-chair for one of our committees, that is the Human Resource Committee.
Okay.
So he's in charge more like to contact the public officers, to plan trainings, and so forth.
To plan training. So if I want to ask Tony now and tell you, Tony, in the case of you, let's just create a scenario. Bam, 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 we have let's create two scenarios. One, we have a hurricane, and we don't have devastation, because fortunately it was not a great Category 5, it was only a Category 2, but there's a lot of flooding in the area. How do you come into action then?
Well, we are the ones who usually delegate to the public officers, have a working team that we would shift them with the assistance of human services. They would go to the flooded areas with the BDF, to get to the people that need the assistance. They would get them boats and, rubber boats, and go out there to assist and to see who really needs the assistance.
What kind of participation do you do in terms of, do you give them food, items, and blankets, and so forth?
After, the 24-hour period, right, or 48-hour period, NEMA would assist in giving them supplies, food items, water, and so.
Let's create another scenario. Fortunately for us, we don't live in front of the sea, where we are vulnerable, where we would be vulnerable if we were living if we had the sea in front. We would be vulnerable and susceptible to tsunami. But more and more we're finding out that, hey, with the right smack in the earthquake belt, and that we're prone to have earthquakes. I mean, for God's sake, we've had a couple of them over the past 10, 15 years. And a relatively strong one, 7.1 and 8.2 or something like that, I gathered that now the tsunami warnings and responses are being incorporated into the NEMO.
Yes,
Can you talk to us about
we're
that?
starting to do training in earthquake and tsunami, although we are not that prone to those, because we are not in the coast. We are catchment area, where if anything major happens in Curacao, we would have to shelter the victims here in Orange.
Oh, so it's like, it's okay, I understand perfectly. If anything happens over there,
we
then
have to
we
open
need
our
to
shelters
open
here,
our
and
shelters over
we
here.
have to
So by all means, we need to be
house-
prepared.
Yes, we do a lot of preparations. When it comes to the feeding, we have the Human Development Department, who chairs that committee, who is the Relief and Supplies Committee. They're in charge of feeding and doing the assessment, the preliminary assessment for the victims, and then we go out and do distribution of food and items.
Do you have, and the second scenario, Tony, was, like I said, we're not prone to tsunamis, unless it would be a really huge one.
Okay.
But do you normally sound an alarm here in Orange Walk Town whenever you have a tsunami warning out in the coast?
No, alarms, we don't sound alarms here. Alarms are sound in Belize City, Curacao, only the coast.
Only the coast.
Yes.
Only the coast. Okay. Well, you have brought with us some brochures.
Yes.
And I'm very glad to see that they have a hurricane tracking chart in one of them. And do you have these booklets
available
for the people?
Yes.
To be able to take one for every home?
Maybe not one for every home, but we have them available in the
How
office.
do you get these out to the people?
Well, we are out on the for Public Service Day, And then to the people who come around, we issue them.
Do people normally radiate towards your stall and go like, quiero llevarme esto, me lo puedo llevar?
Yes, we get a lot of people because it has the tracking chart. And normally when we have a system out there, people like the chart so that they can, track it.
They can track.
And because when the first flag goes up, that's 72 hours. The system is 72 hours away. Then we have the second flag, that is the flag with one black dot, and that may threaten within 36 hours. Then we fly 2 red flags with black dot, likely to strike within 24 hours, and then we have the all clear.
And these are international signs.
International
In other words,
signs.
if you go to, I saw 2 flags in the Florida Panhandle area before Alberto struck. And I remembered that, I think in one of the brochures, that there was a similar situation with 2 flags.
Yes.
So these are international signs.
And our flags are flown at the police station and at the town council.
At the town council and the police station?
Yeah, at the town hall.
At the town hall?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you do about the villages?
Some of the villages have flags, but we communicate with the chairpersons, so we work through them. They have a committee, subcommittee, similar to what we have here in town. They have their shelters are manned by the council, a member of the council. We have the public health, the CNAs, I think you call it, the community nurses. We have them as their station at the shelter. Most of our villages have a shelter, so I think there's.
Do you have participation of the village councils in your in your district council or something like that, or
in my district committee? Yes, we meet with them.
Okay.
We discuss the plan.
Okay, before we go on a break, I'd like to quickly ask you. I recall that you were on the show perhaps about 2 years ago.
Yeah. I think Mr. Aragon.
How better prepared are we today and when compared to 2 years ago?
We are more prepared.
In what terms? In what ways?
Well, we have all the committees. We just don't decide. We have all the committees have an emergency plan. We sit down, we discuss the emergency plan. NEMO has a district plan. I have a district plan for Orange Walk district. Then we incorporate all the committees' plan in it. So if something happens, we just go to the plan and we follow standard procedures.
Yes, I'm sure that a number of places have plans, but upon execution, it turns out generally that there you find your faults.
Yes.
Upon execution, as NEMO activates, Treasury sides with Ms. Celis here, and we activate the Committee for Human Resources, and we get to work and call the public officers to step in and assist now, because we are the branches.
That's what you come into.
We are the branches of the government that assist the people, outside.
And that's where you come in.
Yep.
So you call Mr. Man, need you forgot our way name because
as they say NEMO is to activate at such hour, we are already there with Ms. Celis to execute the plan and calling the public officers, open the schools and so on.
Must you report, or can you say, tell her what, I'm busy, Madam, my baby birthday today, and I don't want to go. Can you say that?
No, when it's a state of emergency, the public service regulations states that we as public officers must assist.
But the state of emergency must be declared first.
We change, post or whatever, from Treasury or Ministry of Finance, we become NEMO.
Have you found any challenges? Any people want to go like, I got this bloody tone, they're going to call me at this hour and night.
Yeah, we do find challenges with some public officers, and especially the teachers, I see here that they have The Belize National Teachers Union as representative, right? Under who is Nemo, but many times when we call on the assistants of the teachers, that they claim that they are not public officers when they're being paid with the public purse.
Oh, yeah. So they shun the responsibility.
We the public officers and the one who step in majority of the times.
Thank you for telling me that.
I just want to share that because that is the reality.
No, that is the reality, and this is an open package show.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And many public officers also don't come out when they're called, you know? And I guess something need to be done in respect of that. Because we all do get paid.
Absolutely. I like that attitude. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back with you when it is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. We'll be right back with you. It's a lot more. No se vayan.
Maintaining steadiness, consolidating stability, advancing growth.
In the Capital 3 budget, provisions of over 43 million have been made to finance the following key infrastructure projects. Continuation of the upgrading of the Hummingbird Highway, $11 million. Continuation of the Belize Southside Poverty Alleviation Project, $4 million. Commencement of work on the upgrading of new sections of the George Price Highway, including the construction of a new double-lane bridge at Roaring Creek, $13 million. Commencement of work on the upgrading of a new section of the Philip Golson Highway, $5 million. Commencement of work on the new Airport Link Road, joining the access road to the PGIA, joining that with the Western Highway, $3 million. Commencement of work on the new Hallover Bridge, $3 million. And commencement of work on phase 1 of the Caracol Road project, $4 million. In addition, provision of $9.5 million has also been made for projects in the education and health sectors and towards our vaunted poverty alleviation programs. Mr. Speaker, I should point out that as we have done in all the years since taking office, we will again be financing our capital program wholly from concessional sources provided by our international development partners. We will not be borrowing any funds on commercial terms. These are the investments that will continue the transformation and continue to bring the jobs, to lower even more the unemployment rate and lift lives and the economy.
The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Why go anywhere else on vacation when an unforgettable experience awaits you right here in your own backyard? Explore southern Belize, home to the Cacao Trail, the historically rich Maya, and our illustrious southern heritage. Satisfy your sweet tooth with a cacao tour, relax by the river, or enjoy a basket weaving demonstration. Stop in for some delicious southern food. Come and enjoy some good old-fashioned southern hospitality. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass Project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional road works will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el balancín. Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche-France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche-France.
The first two phases of the Hummingbird Highway Rehabilitation Project from the Belmopan Roundabout Junction to Saboon Bridge and Alta Vista Bridge to Dangriga Town has already made a remarkable difference for commuters and residents alike. These first two phases are a $16.5 million investment by the government of Belize. Under this project, the highway is being rehabilitated through improvement of the road pavement to create a safer environment for the public. Improvements, especially in the areas that pose a high risk to motorists, include the introduction of paved road shoulders, high visibility line markings, reflective road studs, bus laybys, and other features that will bring the entire road segment in line with internationally recognized standards. Additionally, the replacement of the existing single-lane bridges will reduce road user risks. These improvements will increase economic, tourism, and agricultural opportunities, further encouraging the social development of Belize, particularly in the south. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Bienvenidos de vuelta. Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Aquí con representantes de NIMO Orange Walk. Contamos con la coordinadora a nivel de distrito, Zuleima, y también con la persona encargada de Human Resources. Es más, el que te va a dar la llamadita a decirte, necesito que vengas a ayudar aquí, el señor Antonio Leiva. Bienvenidos de vuelta.
Buenos días, gracias.
Ojalá y este año no tengamos huracanes como el año pasado, y hasta cierto punto nos hemos literalmente escapado, por decir, porque cuando escuchamos los cuentos horrendos de las personas diciéndonos, para Haití se cayó la casa, y que se cayó la casa de tu abuela, y que esto y que el otro, bueno, yo no pude recordar. Todavía creo que tenía 2 o 3 meses en 1961. Pero los cuentos horrendos que te dicen, que pues hasta te da escalofrío. La cosa es que hoy en día tenemos el privilegio de poder estar informados. Cuando va a llegar el huracán, los anuncios por la televisión, por la radio, estás en internet todo el día, que viene huracán, y ya sabes cómo somos, una sociedad bastante informada, me gusta decir eso, y que nos gusta saber y participar, pues reaccionamos correctamente. Sin embargo, compañeros, una de las preocupaciones que tiene este personal es de que muchas veces cuando se suena la alarma y les dice, compañeros, evacúen, la gente no quiere evacuar, porque dicen, yo no voy a salir de mi casa, que entre alguien ahí que se robe todo lo que yo años he trabajado para conseguir, o simplemente tomar la actitud y decir, no pasa nada, man. ¿Encuentras ese tipo de reacción?
Every year.
Every
Every
year.
year that we have a threat.
¿Cómo lidias con eso?
So we educate
Is
the
it,
community, but
can you force people out? Do you have forceful evacuation? In other words, can you go knocking on doors and say, get out?
we don't.
Or is it at the end of the day voluntary evacuation?
We
What
don't
is it?
have mandatory evacuation, but when there are kids involved and we have a threat that is very serious, then human development goes in, and parents would normally follow the kids, because we would, all right, you don't want to evacuate, we'll take the kids to a safe place, and parents normally follow their kids. So we haven't had any case like that here in Orange Rock, but we have had cases like that in the country.
You have cases like that in the country, okay. Now, I do know that Orange Rock up to a certain point is blessed in terms of like, yeah, we do suffer sometimes from flooding, but only in certain areas, like in the Louisiana area, down by the river, and in the Douglas area, Nuevo San Juan area, Douglas, Nuevo San Juan, and so forth, San Antonio. But apart from that, we don't flood that easily.
No, we don't. The last flood we had was in 2013 at the San Antonio area. The people don't get flooded much in that area, but the road does, that they get cut off. And when they get cut off, nobody can come out. So they can't come out and buy food, they can't come out and work. So NEMA provide boats and buses for them so that they can come out and do their daily routine.
And sometimes even buses can't go through when the waters are high.
That's why the boat bring them to a distance, then
and then the buses take on from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have Douglas. Douglas, yes. I think it was 2008 we evacuated everyone entirely.
Because just yesterday I was in Douglas and I was talking to some people and they said, el agua llega hasta el primer piso, cubre todo.
Yes. And
is there a reason why that area is like that?
I think geographically it's lowland, so when the river rises, it comes into
the water.
It's a catchment area because there around there you have savannas and just low areas that are at least at sea level or below sea level.
Because San Roman doesn't get flooded either, but the road gets flooded and people can't come out, so we have to transport people from San Roman through boat to San Antonio. And in San Antonio we have the canal, so the boats run through the canal, and then they jump into a canoe. From the boat they jump into a canoe, and from the canoe they go and reach to where the bus is. That's the way we transport people. Now last year we had a new one. We had Santa Marta, which hasn't been flooded for
Santa Marta. Up 10 years.
21 years, that's what the villagers were telling me. And we had a very terrible flood there last year. We had about probably 60% of the community affected.
But that is due to what? They don't have a stream. Do they have a stream in that area? Or just accumulation of water?
Just accumulation of water.
Because of heavy rains in that area?
Because of heavy rains in the mountains. And then I think there was a catchment area where it's this, they filled it up for Newland. I think it's Newland, the Duke community. And probably, we haven't studied it, but the water just stayed in the village and it
rather than flowing into yes. And just yesterday I was talking to somebody who was saying, if I were given the opportunity, I would fill up the area by Dr. George and I would put canals and do this and the other, and I go like, well, I wish you knew what you were talking about, because at the end of the day you don't mess with those catchment areas, and especially with that Dr. George Lake, because that's just a natural thing. I mean, west of our water falling west of Progress Street drops into that area, because by the market I think is the highest point in Orange Walk Town, 61 feet above sea level, and anything east of that goes to the river. But even the area that goes to the west of it gives the whole turn, because it ends up by Dr. George Estate, but gives the whole turn behind Marcos Cannon, all the way into San Antonio, into Marcos Cannon, and comes right around here behind ITVET, and joins up with the Blackwater
Canal,
Creek,
yeah.
and ends up right back into the river. You know? So, the point is we need to, when NEMO tells you evacuate, you need to evacuate, ladies and gentlemen. It's better to take precautions than in the middle of the storm, hard breeze the blow, man breeze the blow, 70, 80 miles per hour, and all of a sudden, you leave shake your house to shake even more, and then you call and you say, Mister, I want you to pick me up. What do you do in that case?
We don't risk our public officers' lives in sending them out during a hurricane or during a disaster. If it was a flash flood, yes, we have a search and rescue team, which is comprised of the BDF, police, and volunteers. So during a hurricane, we do not risk anybody's life.
Well, I'd just like to make this very, very clear. Me está diciendo la joven de que durante un huracán, si optaste quedar en tu casa, entonces aguántalo. Así de plano. Porque al final del día, si es que te encuentras en una emergencia durante el huracán y llamas para que te vaya alguien a sacarte o ayudarte a ti y a tu perro y tu nieto o como sea, desafortunadamente no va a ir nadie, te las vas a tener que buscar porque no hace sentido que ellos arriesguen su gente y que tan de repente algo les suceda para ir a buscarte a ti, que tuviste amplio tiempo para salir. Vamos a tomar esta llamada. Si quieres participar, 302-2170, o nos puedes mandar textos a 664-4921, 664-4921. Lo repito, 664-4921. Y con gusto atenderemos tus llamadas y atenderemos también tus mensajes. What is the best advice that you can give at this point to the people of Orange Grove?
Well, you know, like before any hurricane or any emergency, to have one family plan, to know where you are going. We have our booklets bring a list of our shelters in town. We have designated shelters for everyone. We have like the San Lorenzo housing site. If you need to evacuate, you evacuate to ITVET. We have the people from San Juan that do not have a shelter in the village. We evacuate them to San Pablo school. We have, well now Douglas has a shelter which is high, but in the event of a major flood, we cannot use the shelter there. But if it's a hurricane, we use the school. We have a new school there, and we use that school.
Are there any new restrictions, not restrictions, but requirements being placed on these shelters, so much so that they really do the job of a shelter? Because let's say, oh yes, the building is brand new, but it has wooden windows, wooden shutters. And if a plank goes through it, it breaks the window and presents a problem to the people who are sheltering inside. Are there any new restrictions on windows and doors, just so that at the end of the day, any blowing planks or pieces of wood or zinc or anything cannot break down those windows or those walls?
Majority of our shelters are community centers and schools. Majority of our schools come as donations from SIF and other entities, and they're being built as a shelter. Most of our schools now that are being built have the bathrooms attached to the building. We stop those outside bathrooms, so that in the event of a hurricane, we have connecting doors. So, and we do a shelter inspection every year, and if we need to take off one of the schools or a community center off our list, we do it.
So in other words, you're telling me is that NEMO requirements for shelters are non-existent because the purview then is placed on SIF to be able to apply their own restrictions.
We have CBAs also, one of our main. So they, before you build, you have to go to CBA, the Central Building Authority. So and they normally look.
Why I ask you the question is very simply, La Immaculada is a shelter. Some of them have the windows, and by God, I know because I just passed by there. And these are the panes of the windows, and then to the back, behind there's a bar. There's a wooden bar. I don't know if you've seen those. The wooden bar is there just so that if a plane comes, the wooden bars, the metal bar, not wooden bar, metal bar is there to stop it. Okay? And it's a shelter, so it should be providing shelter for those people who are inside. But if the door is not well built and if the windows are not strong enough, come a Hurricane 4, our Category 3, 4, that can easily break it down. Are all our shelters equipped for Category 3 and stronger?
Not all our shelters, of course, but they're safer than some of the houses out there.
Some of the
you
homes,
won't get killed in there. Belize itself don't have, what's a shelter, and that's the only purpose of this building is just to be a hurricane shelter. No, our schools and our community centers are our shelters.
So cognizant of that duality in the purpose of the community center, the community centers are now being built with requirements of, say, a hurricane, resistant to hurricane Category 2 force winds, or Hurricane 2 or 3. Well, I guess you're right. At the end of the day, I like to be idealistic sometimes. I like to, but then again, I have to slap myself into realism and go like, well, eso está mejor que nada.
Yep.
Eso está mejor que nada. Siempre tenemos, do you still have the warehouse and how, in the Nuevo San Juan area?
Yes.
And why, for God's sake, was it built in Nuevo San Juan?
It's a regional warehouse for the north. So we built, it's centralized.
Again, I ask you the question, why Nuevo San Juan?
I think the land was available.
Okay, the land was available.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was government land, and the warehouse was built at the time.
What do you have in this warehouse?
We have food, like cans.
Have like luncheon meat, sardines, and
luncheon meat, potted meat,
sausages,
like the girl said.
Peanuts, butter, milk, cornflakes. We have our packages, and we have it packed in.
Oh, you have it packed already in bundles, so you can give it to families, affected families.
Yes, it's a 3 days ration that we have packed. It has the basic soda biscuit, peanuts, butter.
A blanket, maybe?
Blanket. We have blankets, we have sleeping bags, we have the cots if we need to use them on a shelter.
Mattresses?
We have mattresses, we have stoves, tanks, cleaning supplies like Clorox, Fabuloso, brooms, mops. We have water because when we have a disaster, and you know sometimes the water,
just can become infected.
Yes.
Contaminated.
Contaminated. And,
yes.
And we provide.
So you feel good about yourself being the coordinator now, because now we're better prepared than we were 2 years ago.
I've been with NEMA for 9 years.
You've been with NEMA for 9 years.
Yes, Mr. Aragon is the regional. He's in charge of Corozal and Orange Walk. And
so we have made advances.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Let's see. Well, everything, like I said, the proof is in the taste, but certainly we're not hoping for a tasting in this case, because well, we just don't want our country to be going through all the problems. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, and I'm encouraged by your comments, and I'm very hopeful that whenever, if God forbid, we have an emergency, either a hurricane or an earthquake, and even large fires, no?
Yes.
But fortunately, we haven't had any of these in Orange Walk.
No.
Okay. Would the training, which brings up a question, would the training that you have here in Orange Walk be able to make you functional in Dangriga, where it would be a more coastline sort of thing, where would this an all-around training that they give you?
Yeah. When I say training, is we train our public officers to do shelter manager's duty. We train them to do the damage assessment. The damage assessment.
Yeah, we train them in general for any situation, any area. Yeah.
Yeah, we train for
like
search and rescue.
That area we would train, like if they would have more flooding, like we would they would already know how to react to flooding and so.
So everything, all right.
So the training
can be applied wherever you are.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, so it's an all-around sort of training that gives you the ability to be able to respond wherever you are at a given time.
Yes.
With public officers, what we do is if you work here in Orange Walk, you get the training here in Orange Walk. But if you live in Corozal, then you work at Corozal, because we don't want to be having people away from home. So if Tony lives in Corozal but he works here, then we provide the training here. But when system is out, or when we require his service, he works in Corozal.
Okay. What means of communication does NEMA utilize to inform the public of imminent dangers and so forth? Do you use the radio, television, apart from the flags and so forth? Because that everybody stands up at the front of the council.
No, we use radio. We have a committee for that. It's the Communication and Warning Committee, and that is chaired by Ms. Carla Alvarez.
Okay, I see that you have operational committees: education, information, communication, warning. So that's a committee that is very functional.
Yes.
Then you have a committee that's in charge of search, security, and rescue?
Yes.
So you have all of these committees in place?
Yes, and we have a chairperson for each committee.
Okay. Then you have a committee for transport and evacuation. Are all of these functional here in Orange Walk?
Yes, all of them are functional.
Housing and shelter, human resource management, that would be Tony.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yep.
Relief and supplies management, medical care and public health, damage assessment and needs analysis, foreign assistance, restoration of utilities, environment and solid waste, economic and recovery, mitigation, access and infrastructure work. Are all of these logistical, all of these logistics, have they just recently been in place?
No.
Or have they been in place for a long while?
for a long while. I came into NEMA and I met the committees here. Of course, we changed because they are chaired by a head of department, and you know, public service are transferable. So sometimes
have they been functional?
Yes, they have.
They have been.
Each one of them work on an emergency plan every year. Update them every year. Update their plan every year. We sit down at the emergency operations center and we discuss the plan. And if a system is to approach the country, we go through the plan and they know exactly what to do. For example, Ms. Alvarez, Education Department, chairs 2 committees, chairs the Education, Information, Communication and Warning Committee, and chairs the Housing and Shelter Committee. They chair the Housing and Shelter Committee because most of our shelters are schools. So they know where the keys are. So because villages, we deal with the chairpersons, so the chairpersons know that they go to the education office or to the principal's house and they get the keys for the school, so that the school can be open as a shelter, cleaned and ready for the people to come in.
Great. I'd just like to quickly, and si quieres participar, 302-2170. Si quieres mandar un mensaje, 664-4921. Vamos a tomar una pausa ahorita y trataré de traducir un poco para el beneficio de la gente de habla hispana, o hablar más en español, porque estoy consciente del hecho de que una gran cantidad de nuestra audiencia es de habla hispana y que no entiende ni papa de lo que hemos estado hablando ahorita. Pero vamos a regresar luego de esta pausa, compañeros, con más información acerca de este asunto.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not make it in your own backyard? Learn the history of your old capital. Or venture out on a road trip to experience the village life and be captivated by nature's wildlife, culture, and food. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
The sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longaniza, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico. Ever since my mom switched to Diginet, my internet experience has not been the same. My online gaming is on point. I can keep up with my online classes and I enjoy Netflix and chill even more. Nothing beats Diginet's reliable internet speed. I pay only $69 monthly for my 5 megabyte plan. It's perfect for my budget. And you can even get higher speeds that's bundled with free mobile and free home phone for even more savings. But don't take my word for it. Visit the BTL office and ask about Diginet today.
Available Available in San Pedro, Northside Belize City, Ladyville, Belmopan, and now Orange Walk. Coming soon to Placencia.
Freshly extracted local honey, perfect for today's dessert. And these locally produced onions, they are just the right size for my popular onion rings and hamburgers. And these cuts of sheep lamb, also grown locally, are just perfect for my succulent barbecue. When I think about my family's health, I buy local products first. After all, they are fresh and healthier. And if you do the same, you're shaping a brighter future for your community, your family, and yourself, as local spending circles back to you. Remember, when you buy local products, you are building a better Belize. This message is proudly sponsored by the Food and Agriculture Organization, European Union, Ministry of Agriculture, and Belize Marketing and Development Corporation.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Your best advice. Buenos días, bienvenidos de vuelta a las 8:42. Aquí con Zuleima Celis y con Tony Leiva, que son personal de NIMO. Y si es que no sabes qué es NIMO, NIMO es la organización nacional que trata con el manejo de las emergencias. Es más, el hacer asesoría de daños, de cuántas, los daños, las muertes, si es que desafortunadamente hubo, pero también de ayudar y asistir a la gente afectada que vive en este comité. Es regional, asiste simplemente a la gente de Orange Walk. Cada distrito tiene su propia comitiva, su propia organización, y eso entonces está debajo del Central Management o del National Emergency Management Organization, ¿okay? Pero cada distrito tiene su responsabilidad y tiene sus necesidades únicas. Si vives en la costa, pues tienes que estar preparados para inundaciones, para huracanes, impactos de huracanes, tsunamis, bueno, todo el cuento. Yo digo que aquí nosotros en Orange Walk somos bendecidos, que no tenemos que tratar tanto con inundaciones, ni tsunamis, ni nada por el estilo. Simplemente tenemos que tratar con lo que es único para que es, sí, un poco de inundaciones, pero siempre hay el elemento de daños causados por por vientos fuertes, si es que vienen de un huracán, o si es que conseguimos una buena sacudida, earthquake, pues también. Así que esta organización aquí debajo de Zuleima tiene que tener al personal equipado para poder tratar con estos problemas. El señor Tony es la persona que se encarga de hacer las famosas llamaditas a todas las personas que trabajan en el public service. Es más, aquellas personas que aquí en el gobierno pagan, public service, el servicio público, de cuál dependen para llevar a cabo las funciones del NIMO. Pues alguien lo tiene que hacer. Y a las 2 de la mañana, cuando estás en tu casa, quizás ellos están en sesión, están en junta, para poder atender las necesidades de la gente. Así es. Como dije, aquí en Orange Walk, pues tenemos nuestros propios problemas. A este punto, cuando son las 9 menos 14 minutos, voy a invitarle a Zuleima que nos hable tantito acerca de, es más, los mejores consejos que le pueda dar a la gente de Orange Walk para mitigar, para poder amenorar los daños que puedan existir aquí luego de una emergencia, o durante una emergencia, perdón. Es más, tus mejores consejos, Zuleima, a la gente.
Okay, Mr. Martinez, we have to prepare before, for during, and for after, because we don't know what the system will bring. So, just some tips, before a hurricane, to have an emergency kit, monitor your surroundings.
What would this emergency kit be?
The emergency kit brings a supply of water, 1 gallon per person per day. We have store canned food and dry food, because when you go into the shelter, NEMA provides food until after 48 hours.
So this is important. Don't go thinking that because you got into the shelter that they will feed you there.
We ask people to bring in food for first 48 hours. Then the Relief and Supplies Committee comes in and we start to do feeding. We ask them to take a change of clothes, blankets or sleeping bags if they have, because we may not have for everybody. Special items for infants, elderly or disabled family members, if you have disabled family members or, the older guys coming with you to the shelter. We have sanitary supplies, feminine supplies and toilet paper and soap and so forth. That's what your survival.
And your medications, obviously, if you have some of a high blood pressure, then you know in April there. All right, you have to take it.
Yeah, and we ask people to bring in their personal identification documents, such as passport, birth
certificates. Do you need to call in before you go to a?
No, you just go in, and we have the shelter manager taking notes, take your name, and because we
the information and accountability of each person that goes there.
Then we have shelter rules, of course. You can't just go to a shelter and do whatever you want. We have our shelters, we have a space per person, which is 3 feet wide, 6 feet long, and we try to keep family together. So everybody in the shelter, we ask them not to be consuming alcohol, because you will be in the shelter, because you will be put out. No pets are allowed in the shelter. We ask people, I know you're concerned about your stuff. You can't bring in refrigerator, bed, and stuff like that in the shelter.
And no weapons either. No machetes, knives.
We ask people to abide by the rules when they are in the shelter.
Some people walk in a whole fire hut in the shelter because they need to cook their beans and things. No, you can't take that. beg your pardon.
We ask people to get out of low areas subject to flooding. You know, you don't wait until the water is by your doorstep to move out. You make arrangements. If you need to move your household items or to elevate them, and you know, you secure your stuff. If you drive, you don't drive through flooded roads. Then we have disconnect electrical appliances. Do not touch them if you are wet or standing in water. Those are things you do before a hurricane. And during, you don't drive unless you have to. You avoid disaster areas. Your presence may hamper rescue. Your presence may hamper rescue or other emergency operations and put you at further risk. So you try not to. If you see something is happening, and there is a flood or so, you just, if you're not going to assist, just be especially cautious at night when it's harder to recognize flood dangers.
You think that no
Because-
está hondo y está de repente
Yeah.
pukutuf.
Because you can lose control of your vehicle in only a few inches of water.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I recall, and just let me quickly interject there. I recall that many years ago when the area by Tower Hill became flooded, and I was with my brother, may he rest in peace, crossing from Tower Hill into Carmelita, and the vehicle was a very low Isuzu pickup truck, and the water was rather high, in excess of 3 feet. So obviously the engine shut down, and you try crank it up again, and obviously the muffler is completely covered, so there's no exhaust out of the engine, so the engine wouldn't start, and you could actually feel that the flood is pushing the vehicle towards the side of the road, which was especially frightening to me, because I go like, next thing you know, our vehicle could have been actually shoved into the open water, which when we didn't have the benefit of a road under us. So it was frightening, and I quickly had to do a little something there and press that accelerator until the vehicle started again, and just pray to God that I was still on hard ground, and I promised myself never, ever, ever to do that again.
Yeah, it's scary. We also ask people to look out for the children. They should never be playing in flood waters.
For obvious reasons.
Yes, the water is contaminated. You don't know where the water is coming from, especially if it's in the rural areas. We still have about 50% of the population using latrines, so we try to keep the kids away. We don't want to get them sick or to catch skin
infection.
Yes.
So, Tony, are you finished? I'm sorry?
Yes, I'm finished.
Okay. Tony, we spoke a little bit about the challenges, and obviously you'd like to address that and invite people to be more responsive. Your turn.
Okay, I would want to ask the public officers that whenever you're called to assist, to respond, no? Because we are the one who assist the people through the government. And things would run smoother.
So things would run smoother.
If we would all come together and work together, because in unity there is strength, right?
And and sending out a particular message to the teachers, because they are listed as public servants, and all of a sudden, conveniently, we are not a public servant. So, don't shun your responsibility. Rather,
come together with us and let's work together.
Mr. Martinez, I would like to big up the teachers from IT Vet. They're always willing to help.
Kudos to the teachers from IT Vet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is 5 minutes before 9 o'clock. At this point, I'd like to say thank you, Solaima. Thank you, Tony,
Thank
for
you for
being here with
inviting
us. Ojalá y esta temporada de huracanes no nos traiga sorpresas. Y si es que nos va a traer sorpresa, que la sorpresa sea de que no tengamos ninguno. Porque al final del día nuestro país ha pasado por bastante y que pues no necesitamos, aunque no huracanes, aunque no podemos predecir ni podemos gobernar el clima y decir, huracán, vete por ahí porque no te quiero aquí. Es la naturaleza y tenemos que aceptarlo si Dios nos lo manda, pero ojalá y no tengamos ninguno, porque durante huracanes hay pérdida de vida, hay pérdida de propiedades y estamos en un momento bastante especial cuando no necesitamos nada de esto. Pero compañeros, el punto es de que si lo tenemos, desafortunadamente, un sistema aquí enfrente o una emergencia cualquiera que sea, entonces lo mejor es trabajar juntos, uno cuidándose del otro. Si es que yo sé que mi vecina tiene 88 años y que difícilmente se puede defender, entonces vamos a prestarle un poco de servicio y atención a esa persona para que al final del día todos podamos salvarnos y menorar lo que son los daños. Así que eso es el propósito de NIMO, me imagino, preparar a la gente, atender a la gente, pero también que la gente haga de su parte. Haga de su parte. Así que con eso les doy las gracias de nuevo. Le quiero dar las gracias al equipo de producción, pero antes que me vaya, les quiero comentar de que, y esto en un tema completamente distinto y aparte a lo que estamos platicando, de que hubo un accidente, otro accidente hoy por la mañana en el área de Belize Corozal Road, 4 vehículos, de lo que entiendo ahí es por el Hotel Aquijito, y un problema ahí con 4 vehículos que uno se paró a comprar o algo a eso, y ya luego entonces, sí, vamos a tener imágenes, ¿ok? Si ya tenemos imágenes de esto, vamos a ver. Desafortunadamente, compañeros, hubo daños. De lo que entendemos, no hubo muertos ni nada de esto, pero el punto especial es tomar su tiempo cuando estás en la carretera. Ahí tenemos la primera imagen, compañeros, y esto es en Belize Corozal Road, justo frente a lo que es el Hotel Aquijito, ¿ok? Ahí tenemos otra perspectiva, ¿ok? Esa es otra perspectiva de eso, y acaba de suceder hace poco, media hora o algo a eso por el estilo. Y les pedimos a las personas, por favor, guarden mucho cuidado cuando están en el área, especialmente cuando estás en la carretera y ves de que hay ciertas personas estacionadas y que se pudiera mover cualquier momento y tan de repente tú pasas, se mueve el vehículo y ya luego entonces tienes problemas. Así que, por favor, guarden mucho cuidado en esas áreas. Ahí estamos viendo las imágenes que desafortunadamente otro accidente acaba de suceder y lo importante, como digo, es guardar mucho cuidado, mucha paciencia tratando de esto. Muchas gracias. También quiero darles los números que son los contact numbers para NIMO. En Orange Walk, si te quieres comunicar con NIMO, puedes llamar 302-3228. Repito el número, 302-3228. Y también hay un número celular, 605-5046. 605-5046. te pido por favor anotar estos números por las dudas tengas una pregunta o tan de repente quieres saber en qué fase de huracán estamos o algo por el estilo. Repito los números: 302-3228, 605-5046. Esos son los números que tienes que anotar en tu refrigerador o un lado ahí y nunca perderlos por las dudas las necesites. Con esto, compañeros, cuando son las 9 de la mañana, les decimos a ustedes muchas gracias por su audiencia. Estaremos de vuelta con ustedes mañana a la misma hora. Y recordándoles de que este show repite repite a las 9 de la noche. Si les gustan ver, hoy por la noche estamos de vuelta. Pero también estamos en el internet durante el curso del día. Simplemente entras en el programa YouTube y teclas Sugar City Morning Show para la fecha que quieres ver. Y voilà, con la magia de tecnología puedes verlo. Vamos a tener esta llamada. Sugar City Morning Show, good morning, buenos días. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Morning.
Yes, but this is the Sugar City Morning Show, and you are live, sir. May I ask you to call back within the next 5 minutes? Okay. Con eso, muchas gracias, compañeros, a la audiencia. Les agradezco mucho la sintonía. Nos vemos mañana a la misma hora. Cuídense. Muchas gracias. Sorry. Muchas gracias.
Sugar City Morning Show.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not make it in your own backyard? Learn the history of your old